Thought for the day. It is never too late to be what you might have been. Welcome to 7 Minutes for Yourself. I'm Christina Aina, and I'm so glad you've joined me for what I believe will be 7 of the most enriching minutes of your day. Let's take this time to reconnect with ourselves and improve our well-being. In today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself, we discuss how we move from self-sabotage to self-development. Have a listen.
Personal development comes in so many different forms and modalities. We could read books. We can listen to books on audio tape. We could listen to podcasts. We can watch YouTube videos. I'm a huge fan of all the great things on TED Talks. We could watch other documentaries. We can look at blogs and internet website resources. We could take online courses or engage in personal development workshops.
The first thing is that we have to know where our current time is going. Now, all of us have the exact same number of hours in a day, so time by itself isn't going to solve our problem. We need to know how we are spending or perhaps misusing the existing time that we have in order to then think about where we can carve out time for the other stuff that really matters. And the whole point isn't to give you a hard time, it's just to issue this gentle reminder that each of us makes decisions on a minute-by-minute basis about what we are doing according to what we say matters to us. And if there is misalignment between what we want to be doing and how we are actually using our time, that gives us room to improve, right? To close that gap. And I want you to make sure that starting out, you are really clear on how you are currently spending your time so that you can see where you actually do have opportunities for things like personal development. The next thing is that we have to know our windows of opportunity. Before having kids, most of us could probably have done whatever we wanted, whenever we wanted. And now it's a whole different story, right? Our days revolve around our kids' schedules, their needs, their activities, school, all that good stuff. So we've got to get creative. We can't use time as an excuse. And even if you can't have the time that you would prefer to use for personal development, you can still work during your kids' nap times. You can think about getting up a little bit early or staying up late after your kids are asleep. But again, just look through what happens for you every single day and pinpoint the specific hours, the little chunks of time that you could theoretically use for personal development. Chances are these aren't going to be your ideal times, but we have to take what we can get as moms. The final thing is that if personal development is as important to you as you say it is, then you have to schedule it in. You have to physically block out time on your calendar and consider that a commitment, an appointment that you have made with yourself, and then keep it the same way that you would keep a lunch date with a friend or a doctor's appointment. We have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to make these things a habit. But the good news is that even a little bit every single day compounds and adds up to tremendous results over time. For instance, even just 15 minutes of personal development a day ends up being over 90 hours throughout the course of a year. So kick your excuses to the curb. I promise you, there is more time than you think.
I know how impossible it can feel to make time for personal development, but I also know how incredibly rewarding it is and how much it pays off when we prioritize ourselves in this way. Here are some ways that I make time for personal development. You can get up 15 to 20 minutes earlier than you otherwise would before everybody else is awake. Enjoy your favorite beverage and squeeze in time then. I make sure to watch something educational while I'm working out or listen to something educational while I'm doing housework, cleaning the kitchen, or folding clothes. As with everything, it's a trade-off. some nights we might really want nothing other than to just plop down in front of the television and watch our favorite show. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you can, consider using that time late at night after your kids have gone to bed for things like reading and personal development. I push myself to try and read at least a few pages in a personal development book every night before I go to bed.
One of the best ways I have found for making time for personal development is to be productive when I'm in the car. And so podcasts are obviously a great go-to here, but I even love turning on a YouTube video, a TED Talk, something like that. I don't watch it while I'm driving, but I listen, and it really helps me use my mind, expand my thinking, and make sure that I'm learning and growing in every little bit of time that I have. The point is that we have to use all the time in our day as wisely and productively as we can. If we take advantage of every little small chunk of time, it adds up to such a huge impact, and you will be amazed what a difference it makes. All right, those are my top tips for fitting in time for personal development as a mom. I know it sounds impossible, but it really is easy once you get started and if you just keep at it.
That concludes today's episode of 7 Minutes for Yourself. Please take a moment to rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. Today and every day with your kiddo is a gift. Enjoy it. Thanks for tuning in.